Top 10 fastest cars in the world, 2025. Number 10, 2025 BMW M5 G90, 190 miles per hour. BMW's 7th generation M5 detonates the super sedan playbook with plug-in punch. A reworked S68 4.4-liter twin-turbo 8-cylinder mates to a 2-speed rear-axle E-motor, combining for 717 horsepower and 738 pound-feet. Launch control slings the 5,313-pound four-door to 60 miles per hour in 2.9 seconds before a recalibrated limiter yields a 190 mile per hour top speed. The hybrid system's more than a green fig flag. An 18.6 kilowatt-hour battery is buried within the floor pan, shaving the center of gravity by 13 millimeters and delivering roughly 25 miles of silent commuting. At 87 miles per hour, the E-motor's dedicated gearbox shifts into high, filling torque gaps as the 8-cylinder climbs towards its 7,200 RPM red line. So thrust never plateaus. Hardware that reads asphalt every 10 milliseconds makes mass irrelevant. Adaptive dampers, 48-volt anti-roll bars, and rear-wheel steering pivot the M5 like a coupe. 6-piston calipers bite optional 17.1-inch carbon ceramics, hauling the sedan from 124 miles per hour in 330 feet, while staggered 21-inch forged wheels on Michelin Pilot Sport 5S rubber generate 1.05 G of lateral grip. Cabin tech keeps pace. A curved 15-inch iDrive 9 screen charts boost flow and battery temps, while 18-way luxury merino leather thrones massage away launch whiplash. Ambient lighting keyed to drive modes floods the cockpit scarlet when race is selected. Base price, $124,675. Still think sedans are dead? A manual shift monster in the top 5 hits 205 miles per hour and wears a last man standing badge. Stick around for the Ghost Shift King. Number 9, 2025 Lamborghini Urus SE Hybrid, 194 miles per hour. Part electric, all predatory, the Urus SE turns Lamborghini's family hauler into a stealth missile. A twin-turbo 4-liter 8-cylinder couples with a 189 horsepower axial flux motor for a combined 789 horsepower and 701 pound-feet, slinging the 5,520-pound SUV to 60 miles per hour in 3.4 seconds and on to 194 miles per hour, enough to outsprint the Performante by 2 car lengths. The battery, 25.9 kilowatt-hour, liquid-cooled, tucks above a new electronic rear diff, serving 37 miles of silent range and a claimed 80% CO2 cut in city loops. An integrated 2-speed earbox shifts at 84 miles per hour, keeping the motor in its 14,000 RPM sweet spot, while a surge paddle dumps stored amperage for 6 seconds of extra thrust. Dynamics are laser sharpened. Rear axle steering pivots 5 degrees. ALA 2.0 ducting bleeds air through a floating hood to trim lift by 35%, and 48-volt active roll bars neutralize weight transfer to 70 milliseconds. Forged 23-inch Galanthus wheels drops 44 pounds of unsprung mass, hiding 440mm carbon ceramic rotors, the largest ever on an SUV. Inside, Lamborghini swaps cowhide for sustainably tanned Corsa leather, hex-stitched in neon verde scandal. Twin 12-inch OLEDs run Unreal Engine graphics, and a cabin ionizer filters 35 CFM so track day fumes never linger. Base price, $258,000. Number 8. 2025 Mercedes-AMG GT63 SE Performance, 196 miles per hour. The GT63 SE Performance is the first Mercedes road car whose powertrain was sketched on an F1 engineer's whiteboard. A hand-built M177 4-liter hot V twin-turbo 8-cylinder, 630 horsepower, teams with a 150 kilowatt axial flux motor mounted on the rear axle. Linked by its own 2-speed gearbox, the hybrid system releases 831 horsepower and 1,033 pound-feet, propelling the four-door coupe to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds and on to 196 miles per hour. Energy comes from a 6.1 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion pack that weighs just 196 pounds and is cooled cell-to-cell by an electrically driven 400-volt refrigerant circuit, the same thermal concept used in Mercedes-AMG's 2024 W15 Formula One energy store. The battery can dump its entire output for 10 seconds without derating, then recharge from regen in one hard braking zone. Chassis tech is equally surgical. AMG Ride Control Plus triple chamber air springs, rear axle steering, 2.5 degrees, and an electronically controlled limited slip diff helped this car set a 723.009 Nürburgring Nordschleife lap, the quickest plug-in production four-door on record. 17.3-inch carbon ceramic rotors stop the 5,054-pound missile from 124 miles per hour in 337 feet. Turbine vents glow red in race mode. A 12.3-inch MBUX screen maps live power flow, and the rear seat still folds flat for skis. Starting price, $181,000. Smash that like button if you love the smell of carbon ceramics and the sound of turbos whistling at redline. Tap subscribe now and feed your addiction to speed. Number 7. 2025 Ford Mustang GTD, 202 miles per hour. Ford's GTD is a street-legal GT3 car wearing a horse badge. A supercharged 5.2-liter Predator 8-cylinder breathes through an enlarged intercooler to fire out 815 horsepower and 664 pound-feet, the most powerful Mustang ever built. Flat on the throttle, the GTD claws to 202 miles per hour VMAX, eclipsing the Shelby GT500 by 22 miles per hour. Power routes through a carbon fiber drive shaft to a rear-mounted Tremec 8-speed dual-clutch transaxle, delivering near-perfect 50-50 balance and freeing the diffuser to work unimpeded. A drag reduction system swings the hydraulically actuated rear wing flat on straights, then snaps to high downforce for corners. Technology cribbed for Ford's GT LM Racer. Under the carbon fiber body sits Multimatic adaptive spool valve dampers that can stiffen in 15 milliseconds and drop ride weight by 1.6 inches at speed. Forged magnesium wheels, optional, slash unsprung mass, and hide 410mm carbon ceramic brakes. In December 2024, a developmental GTD lapped the Nürburgring in 657.685, making it the first American production car to crack the 7-minute barrier. Production is capped at roughly 1,000 units, each hand-finished in flat rock and priced from $325,000. Number 6. 2023 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat Red-Eye Jailbreak, 203 miles per hour. The last Hemi-powered Charger is pure excess on 4 doors. Its supercharged 6.2-liter 8-cylinder inhales through a 2.7-liter blower, and the jailbreak calibration bumps output to 807 horsepower and 707 pound-feet, shoving the 4,586-pound sedan to 203 miles per hour, the highest VMAX of any mass-produced 4-door ever built. Straight-line stats read like track slip folklore, 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.6 seconds, and a 10.6-second quarter mile at 129 miles per hour on street tires, courtesy of a launch-tuned Torque Flight 8 HP 90 and line lock burnout mode. Power is channeled through a carbon fiber drive shaft to a 309-to-1 rear axle, while SRT's power chiller diverts AC refrigerant to the intercooler for cooler intake temps during hot lap cooldowns. Wide body fender flares stretch the stance by 3.5 inches to swallow 20 by 11-inch wheels wrapped in 305 section Pirelli P0s. Behind them lurk 15.7-inch Brembo rotors with 6-piston calipers that scrub Autobahn pace without drama. Adaptive Bilstein competition dampers, stiffer springs, and 305mm rear tires keep the beast composed in sweepers, if the driver's right foot cooperates. The jailbreak badge isn't just branding. It unlocks every CRT palette, letting owners mix 20 wheel finishes, 14 exterior colors, and 7 stripe packages. An automotive parts bin free-for-all that sends each car down the line as a one-of-one farewell to the Hemi era. Production ends with Dodge's last call run, and MSRP closes the book at $95,960 before the inevitable dealer markups. Number 5. 2023 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat Red Eye, 203 miles per hour. This final year Red Eye is Detroit's last word in factory muscle. A supercharged 6.2-liter Hemi funnels 797 horsepower and 707 pound-feet through the rear wheels, blasting the 4,600-pound coupe to 60 miles per hour in 3.4 seconds and on to a drag-limited 203 miles per hour. Still the fastest Challenger ever stamped out of Brampton. Feeding that 2.7-liter blower are dual snorkel hood inlets and illuminated air catcher headlamps that gulp 1,100 liters of air per second straight into two 92mm throttle bodies. An intake design borrowed from Dodge's NHRA parts bin. Torque Reserve primes the supercharger in launch mode by closing its bypass valve and retarding spark, so boost is already waiting when the brake is released. A beefed-up Torque Flight 8 HP 90 auto-clicks off 160 millisecond shifts, and line lock let the front brakes hold while the rears spin, translating to verified 10.8-second quarter-mile slips at 129 miles per hour. 6-piston Brembos stand guard for the return road. Inside, a retro font 220 mile per hour speedometer flanks an 8.4-inch Uconnect screen with SRT performance pages logging real-time boost, G-force, and reaction times. A last call under hood plaque certifies the end of the Hemi Coupe era. MSRP starts at $83,495. Would you rather hear turbos whistle or V8S thunder on your weekend escape? Keep watching. The answer could surprise you. Number 4. 2025 Cadillac CT5V Blackwing, 205 miles per hour. Cadillac's Blackwing isn't chasing the Germans, it's haunting them. A hand-built 6.2-liter LT4 supercharged 8-cylinder, each block signed in bowling green, still pumps 668 horsepower and 659 pound-feet, but for 2025, the precision chassis package, stiffer springs, revised bushings, quicker steering rack, lifts the sedan's limits enough to nudge its verified top speed to 205 miles per hour. Thrust funnels rearward through either a 6-speed Tremec, now with 3D printed titanium shift knob insert, or an updated 10-speed automatic whose new algorithms cut upshifts to 150 milliseconds. Magnetic Ride Control 4.0 scans pavement 1,000 times per second, while an electronic limited slip diff vectors torque with millisecond precision. The result? A 249.4 lap VIR remains the fastest four-door time car and driver has ever recorded. Aero matters as much as muscle. Opt for both carbon fiber 1 and 2 packages and you'll unleash front lift 214% versus stock, thanks to an underwing splitter and end plate drive planes sized like GT4 hardware. Cabin theater balances track grit with couture, semi-aniline leather, touch red seatbelts, and a performance wheel whose LED shift lights arc like an Indy car's. A discreet last man standing badge in the dash reminds you this is the only 200 mile per hour sedan still offered with a manual in 2005. Base price $99,190. Number 3. 2024 Nissan GTR Nismo, 205 miles per hour. The longest-running supercar on sale refuses to slow down. For 2024, each Takumi-built 3.8-liter VR38 DET 6-cylinder receives GT3 spec turbochargers, holding peak boost longer and lifting the hand-signed engine to 600 horsepower and 481 pound-feet. Engage launch control in the all-wheel drive Icon slingshots to 60 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds before surging to a verified 205 miles per hour. Nismo engineers finally give Godzilla a front mechanical limited slip differential, tightening turn-in as the rear transaxle slingshots the tail, an all-new feature for a road-going GTR. Aero is rewritten with a swan neck carbon wing, deeper canards, and a reshaped diffuser that add 13% more downforce without extra drag. Stopping power matches the shove. 410mm Brembo carbon ceramic rotors shave unsprung mass, while Blistine Damptronic dampers sample the tarmac every millisecond. Fresh Dunlop SB Sportsmax GT600 tires use a Nismo-specific compound that widens their grip window for track abuse. The cockpit stays analog on purpose. Carbon shell Recaros and an old-school 8,000 RPM tach are framed by suede-wrapped dash pads rather than tablet screens. U.S. supply is scarce, and each example carries an MSRP of $222,885. Number 2. 2025 Porsche 911 Turbo S, 205 miles per hour. Porsche's perennial benchmark still outruns most newcomers. The rear-mounted 3.8-liter twin-turbo flat-six holds firm at 640 horsepower and 590 pound-feet, funneled through an 8-speed PDK to all four wheels. With launch control engaged, the Turbo S rockets to 60 miles per hour in 2.6 seconds and doesn't quit until 205 miles per hour. Figures Porsche verifies on summer tires. Raw speed is only half the story. For 2025, the car adopts the latest PASM double-valve dampers, able to alter compression and rebound independently every millisecond, so the chassis glides over patchy asphalt yet stays flat at triple-digit sweepers. Carbon ceramic brakes, 420mm front, shed velocity lap after lap. And an optional aero kit extends a swan neck rear wing and active front flaps that together add 220 pounds of downforce at 155 miles per hour without upping drag. Everyday civility remains unmatched. The 911 still offers vestigial rear seats, a 4.2 cubic foot trunk, and a 10.9-inch PCM screen that now includes real-time suspension analytics. Even with all this tech, curb weight stays under 3,650 pounds, thanks to a carbon fiber roof option that removes 15 pounds up high. Performance like this isn't cheap. Porsche lists the 2025 Turbo S from $230,400. But most buyers will flirt well over $250K once Weissach dipped options are ticked. All roads lead to one final legend, where ruthless horsepower meets soul-stirring precision. Stay locked in. Number 1. 2025 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1, 233 miles per hour. America's new apex predator doesn't roar. It hisses through twin turbines. The ZR1's LT7 5.5-liter flat-pane 8-cylinder inherits the Z06's 8,600 RPM soul, then straps on twin electrically actuated turbochargers to unleash 1,064 horsepower and 828 pound-feet, the highest output of any street Corvette. Launch control catapults the rear-drive rocket to 60 miles per hour in 2.3 seconds, clears the quarter in 9.5 seconds, and storms to a certified 233 miles per hour, a record for any U.S. production car under $1 million. Engineering reads like race car fan fiction. A titanium rod bottom end, dry sump lubrication pulling 1.25 G in corners, and a water-to-air charge cooler that keeps intake temps below 120 degrees Fahrenheit at full boost. A rear-mounted 8-speed transaxle balances weight 4852, while Active Aero deploys a variable pitch rear wing and computer-controlled underbody flaps, slicing drag on straights, yet generating up to 1,200 pounds of downforce in ZTK track spec. Brembo carbon ceramic brakes, 420mm front, stop the 3,560-pound supercar from 124 miles per hour and 295 feet. And optional carbon fiber wheels trim 41 pounds of unsprung mass. Inside, a performance data recorder logs 4K video and telemetry, though critics note the carryover cockpit will get a triple screen overhaul for 2026. Still, at a base $174,995, nothing matches its speed per dollar punch. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.